Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. As promised, I am delivering my puff video. I am going to be showing you how I get to my, for the most part, everyday hairstyle. Like I said before, it's a pretty simple technique that I use. If anything, because I've done it so much, I've worked out all the nooks and crannies, so it's not hard at all. But keep watching. Without further ado, let me show you how I do this do. All right, to start the process off, I use Joico's Moisture Recovery Shampoo and Conditioner. It's one of their newer lines, and I actually love it. I love the way it made my hair feel. It was super soft, and I feel like I really didn't need to add too much to it. So you'll see in this process, it's not much that I do to get this puff going. Here you see me just parting. I definitely try and get my parts as straight as possible. I don't necessarily need to do it to just add leave-in conditioner. I'm just that person where I'm going to part it as straight as I can, so it makes it easier. And of course, I'm going in and doing it in 4 sections because with natural hair, everything is easier when you do it in sections. There's no reason not to do sections. It makes it harder if you don't. So I'm going to go split my hair into 4 sections, and then as I go in and do other steps, you'll see me do smaller sections just to make this process easier. So once I get done with those sections, you'll see me start to saturate my hair with water. I have water, a mix of water and leave-in conditioner in there because it helps obviously to saturate my hair, because I'm not doing this in the shower like I normally would and put my leave-in conditioner, in my hair soaking wet once I get out of the shower. So this is helping me to rehydrate, so then I can start adding the leave-in. And the leave-in I'm using is The Conditioner by Paul Mitchell, their original leave-in conditioner. I love how it makes my hair feel, and I love how it moisturizes and helps my hair to retain moisture, especially as we start to get into our colder months. I don't have to worry about my hair feeling dry or anything like that when I use this product specifically with the normal routine that I have as far as doing my wash day and leave-in conditioner, and then whatever style I do, mostly my puff, like I said before. You'll see me here kind of, as I spray each section, working the water in and then going in and working in the leave-in conditioner, because you want it to penetrate the hair as much as possible. Like, you want it to get inside the hair so it retains the moisture. You don't want it to just sit on top of the hair. So you definitely want to work the product in as much as possible. And as you work it in, you will start to see the definition come through. If you do it the right way, you'll definitely see the definition in your hair as you saturate. Looking at it now, I can tell that I needed to go in and probably use the water more to saturate the sections before I put the leave-in conditioner on, because I can tell it's a little dry in some parts. But for my puff, it really doesn't make or break this style, because essentially when I get it up into the puff the way I want it to, some of that frizz helps the height of my puff, how I like it to sit up. So it's not that bad for me. And typically if you see that it's a little drier, even before you start to really prep a style in general, you can go in and kind of use the water to saturate those sections and go back and kind of fix it before you go any further. Because like I said, I can see it now here, but with my puff, it doesn't really matter. If I was doing a different style, I definitely would go back in and saturate a little more, just so I have that protection just in case I needed to saturate and then a style that I want to do doesn't come out because there's not enough water. So like I said, for the puff, it doesn't make or break the style, so I don't really pay too much attention to it here. But the main thing with this step is working the product in, making sure that you saturate enough to be able to work the product in, because you want it to penetrate and not just sit on top of the hair. That is the main thing with this step. So it helps to deeply penetrate and keep your hair hydrated so that you can wear this style for more than a couple days before it starts to feel like dry and brittle and stuff like that. That's definitely not anything that you want when you're doing any kind of hairstyle, especially with natural hair. You definitely don't want a dry natural style, because with the next wash day, you will regret it. So making sure that your moisture is there is probably the main thing before you do anything to your hair. So, and you can definitely see the curls starting to come into shape here. So I'm gonna just put this section away as I go in and do the rest of my hair. So I'll kind of speed it up so you can see that process, but at least you get to see the one section in detail. All right, so next I'm just using a wide tooth comb to comb my hair into a high bun until I can get everything squared away. It's just easier to work with it up, obviously, because my hairstyle is gonna be up. My puff will be on top. So it's just easier to have it up. Then I throw it up in the bun, and then you'll see me going in and using my brush to kind of smooth it out as I start this process. Real light brushing. It doesn't take too much right now because my hair is moisturized the way it needs to be. And then this is actually some kind of tangle teaser comb. I think it's a teasing comb, but it actually helps me smooth out my hair a little more and build a barrier around my base where I need it to, where I want my puff to sit. And then I'm just using some of the olive oil eco styler gel to smooth my hair out, because I really haven't found anything else yet that keeps my hair as smooth as this does without flaking. And then you'll see me go in, brush a little more, make sure it's smooth and in place. And by now, it's pretty smooth. It's as smooth as I need it to be. I really won't have to do this too much more afterward. So now, after I do all this brushing here, you'll see me use one of those plastic headbands that everybody probably wore as a kid. What I'm gonna do with it is place it around my hair where I kind of built that barrier with the tangle teaser comb, and kind of push it into those hairs that didn't get combed out, because those will be the ones that I'll kind of have out in my puff. But I need to build a barrier because day one, day two, my hair is too soft. And if I try anything, even like the shoestring method, the regular elastic headband, anything like that, it slips right off. Like, I've tested and tried a whole bunch of stuff, and right now this is the only thing that has been working for me. I've even tried the puff cuff, and it does not work for my hair. So I kind of created my own thing. So even after I do this here, you'll see me grab some bobby pins, and I'll put one. I start with the one, I think, in the back, and then I do the front and then the two sides, just to make sure that this plastic headband is extra secure, because I don't want it to slip. Because sometimes I'll even put this in, and you'll see as I work through the rest of this video, it will start to slip because of how soft my hair is. So I'm just taking extra precautions to make sure it doesn't. And by now, I've, for the most part, gotten it down so that it's not super tight either, because I've had to work through those issues where it's been too tight, and I'm about to pass out halfway through the day because I wanted a nice puff, but it's too tight on my head. But right now, like I said, by the time I get to this point, especially with how far I've pushed it up, the next step that I do when I use the regular elastic headband, it's not going to be really tight at all. So what I'll do here is loop it around my head twice and kind of put it where it's under that plastic headband. And then once I get it around the second time, you'll kind of see me pushing the plastic headband up a little further so I can make sure that it's secure. Because again, with how soft my hair is, if I don't secure it, it will start to slip. Now, after the third, fourth day, I won't have to do this, but the first couple days, I definitely will. And here, I'm just using a little more gel, make sure everything is as slick as I need it to be. And now I really don't have to use as much product anymore with that either. And then I'm gonna use my Ride wrap to make sure everything stays in place while I do the rest of my hair. I got this thing probably in the salon 10 years ago when I was working there, and I love it. I use it every time I do my puff, pretty much every day. So now I get to work on the actual curls. So I'm using the As I Am Long and Luxe Curl Enhancing Smoothie. I love how this stuff defines my curls. The consistency is super weird, like almost like how you used to how you used to put glue on your hands and wait. See, look, you used to wait for it to dry and it was like gummy looking but not dry yet. It's like this never gets sticky or gummy, but when you first pull it out, that consistency is that's what it reminds me of. And as I do these videos, I'm going to try and be better than I normally am. I'm working it in a little more here than I normally do, but like I said before, I am a lazy natural, so I'm working on being better so that my hair is more defined. Although it doesn't take much for this product to define my hair, so I'm not having to put in a bunch of work to make sure, you know, that I get the definition that I want. It's a really nice product and it smells really good. I think it's pomegranate or something like that. See, that stuff just went flying and I didn't even realize it. But as you can see, even though my hair is still wet, with how my hair is, you can see that it looks like it's elongated, but my definition is definitely starting to come in. And as my hair starts to dry with everything that I'm doing, I will definitely get to see the definition that I want as I work this product in. But it's the same thing as the leave-in conditioner. I'm a person that goes based on how it feels in the hair. So once I feel like my hair is as moisturized as I need it to be, or the curls are starting to behave the way I want them to, that's when I know I've gotten the amount of product I need in my hair. Because then after I do all this, I'm kind of just tossing it around and stuff like that. I'll go back in with the final layer of product and start doing the olive oil eco styler again to kind of seal the deal as far as definition goes. So it keeps my curls defined, obviously, for the amount of days that I want it to wear it. And it works really well with the Curl Enhancing Smoothie. I normally start on the outsides because typically that's the easiest part of my hair to define. Those curls around the exterior of my puff typically tend to shape on their own, so I don't have to do much. If anything, I do more work on the inside because my hair tends to look straighter when it's wetter on the inside. And I know I have different textures in different parts of my hair, so I know why it looks like that. But even using the eco styler, once it dries, my curls look exactly the way I want them to, and I don't have to use as much product as I used to when I first started to try and figure out how I wanted to do this. I think I'll probably do 2 or 3 like scoops, and that's about it. But as you watch me do the rest of this part, it's just a matter of making sure everything is coated the way I need it to, making sure it's defined, and playing with it to make sure that it's going to dry in the shape that I want it to dry in. So as I'm finishing, kind of playing with my hair and the eco styler, finishing that up, I'm starting to kind of shingle some of the straighter pieces, give it a little help, add a little more eco styler, so as it starts to dry, it'll start to curl the way I want it to. Then I'll kind of scrunch it. Sometimes I will put a little water in it too, just to make sure that it's going to curl the way I want it to. But it's not too much that I got to do at this point. Like I said, I'll shingle a little bit, kind of scrunch it a little bit, and then you'll kind of see me move it into the shape that I want it to dry in, tuck the pieces that I need to tuck so that as it dries and kind of shrinks up, it's going to look the way I want it to. All right, so now I am back. I pretty much let my hair dry all day, and well, mostly dry, but now it's time to stretch. So what I'll do is either use a pick, a wide tooth comb, this comb here, anything that has wide teeth on it, to kind of lift my hair and stretch it out a little bit, just so that I can get my puff into the desired shape that I want it to be in. Typically, it's just me lifting and stretching it out so that it's bigger. I just like to have a big puff in general, but this is where moisture plays a huge factor because you don't want to break any of your hair off trying to stretch it. So making sure that you have enough moisture in your routine so that when you get to this step, you're not overdoing it and then breaking hair off and then literally being counterproductive to your hairstyle. So after I get through this part, then I start to kind of use my hands, because at that point I can get it to sit the way I wanted to, use my hands to kind of pick and fluff and kind of fill in the parts that I wanted to, just so it sits in the shape that I want it to. So for the most part, I'm done here, but then you'll kind of see there's a part at the top where it looks like one of the curls is overstretched. So what I'll do is take a water bottle, my water bottle I was using before, and spray those curls just so that the water helps it to shrink. So then it goes back into place. And even some of the places where I was talking about earlier, if I notice a little frizz because it wasn't saturated enough, I'll kind of spray some water in there, and then it'll kind of redefine those curls. And sometimes I'll even kind of play with it to shape it a little bit. But for the most part, it dries the way that I needed to. And so after that, I am pretty much done. I'm gonna try real hard to do this 360. Let me tell you, I'm in my bathroom trying to make it work. There's a first time for everything. I promise to get better at this, but I am done. I love the definition that I get every time I do this combo. So this is why it's my go-to. It's pretty easy, and at this point, I've mastered it. All right, so that is my puff routine. That is how I get to this style here. If you have any questions for me, just leave them in the comments below. I hope that I helped you. I hope that you can take any tips, even if it's not doing a whole puff, even if it's, you know, a tip here and there that I did that helps you to achieve a style that you're trying to achieve, something to work into your routine just to make your natural hair journey better. Anything I can do to help, I definitely will. Like I said, any questions or anything like that, leave them in the comments below. I will definitely answer all questions that I see as soon as I see them. If you have any ideas for any other hairstyles that you would like to see me do, leave those in the comments as well. I think that's it. Just make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying. I am trying to get there with these videos. I am trying. Make sure you like this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.